Addiesdive is back with a bigger brother to what is the best $50 watch of 2024, but does it live up to the hype, or does it fall short of expectations? Well, not only will we figure that out in this video, but I will address my experience with this watch, show you all the color combinations, the good things, my complaints, compare it to its little brother, and of course, would I recommend this watch or not? This watch was given to me without pay, and I did get a unique coupon code to share with my subscribers, visible in the comment section down below, along with a link on where to find this watch. As you've come to know me, I don't hold back anything in my reviews, and this is no exception. I've had this watch for a week now, and it has been a really nice experience overall. Not perfect, but I have truly enjoyed it. Why is that? Well, simply, they have really nailed the dial on this watch, which is very important as it's the actual thing you'll look at the most, and every aspect of the dial looks and feels of very high quality. The dial is composed of multiple layers, starting with a fine level sunburst brushed copper plate, a second layer being a burgundy paint, followed by an evenly gradient layer of black paint, getting darker the further to the edge of the dial as it gets. On top of all this, it has a transparent enamel layer, but it gives it a glossy ceramic look, which really helps it with light play and reflections. And it is a very thick layer of enamel, not only giving the date window some nice edges, but also elevates the printing and indices of the dial, giving them a floating sort of effect. Talking about the indices, we can see here that they did not cut down on any corners either. They are filled with quality PGW9 lume, and they are chamfered on all four edges, giving the dial additional depth and bling. As for the dial, they have truly cooked something that I cannot talk negatively of, but what I can criticize is the side profile. While it's not made the watch less enjoyable to wear, for this style of watch, I would have preferred it to be thinner for those occasions that I would have worn it under a shirt cuff. I really believe they could have made this watch a millimeter thinner, but what ultimately limits it from being a dress watch is essentially the Japanese Seiko NH35 movement inside. The movement is thick, but it's also literally the most durable automatic movement in this price segment, along with its rival, the 8 series from the Citizen Group. If you're looking for a similar watch but much slimmer, I do recommend you to take a look at their automatic behaving quartz version of this watch. I did review it earlier, but I'll quickly compare the two. While the red one is 13mm thick, the green one is only 11mm thick, making the green sit much lower on wrist, while the red one will have more presence. The red one has the advantage of coming equipped with a sapphire crystal over the green one's mineral crystal, which means that the red one will be far more scratch resistant. To this day, over 40 watches and 5 years of wearing watches with sapphire crystals, I have only scratched a sapphire crystal once, while every mineral crystal has been scratched within weeks. However, mineral crystals are less reflective by their nature, so achieving better clarity is easier than with sapphire. I would say that both has their advantages, but personally, I always go with sapphire as they will look brand new for many years to come. The red one has a date wheel, the green one does not. I totally prefer having a date wheel. Is that something you also do or not? Let me know in the comments down below. As for sizing, the red one is bigger, coming in at 39mm in diameter, 48 in case length. I would argue that the red one suits my 7.1-inch wrist much better. Neither one looks bad, and this is just a personal preference. It also comes down to how you prefer your watch to sit on your wrist. The red one has a lug width at 20mm, which is the golden standard and makes it easier for you to find compatible straps, while the green one has a lug width of 19mm. As for the bracelet, on the red one, it is far superior to the green one, the red one being thicker and more substantial, and it also has smoother articulation. The red one has a pressed clasp, while the green one has a milled clasp. The milled clasp looks more premium than the pressed ones, there is no denying in that. However, at this super affordable price range, I do think that pressed clasps are more comfortable. So you would have to decide here what you think is the better option. Which one do you prefer of these two? Another big advantage of the red watch bracelet is the edges. They are properly deburred and feels perfectly smooth to the touch, elevating the feeling of the watch both in hand and on wrist. It has a screw-down crown with nice threads and their full logo etched to the crown. Personally, I would have preferred it to be only the stylized A from the brand name as printed on the dial. However, this isn't very visible unless you're specifically looking for it, as the crown is really small, which is my second but very minor complaint. Same goes for the case back, it has the full logo etched to it. But this is not a problem for me, as it's not visible while wearing the watch, and I couldn't care less what it says here honestly. Still, it would have been an improvement to just have a sterile case back, or better yet, match it with a brand name from the front dial for more consistency. The case back is also screwed down, contributing to this watch's water resistance of 100 meters. The clasp is double secured with 2 locks. It has 3 levels of micro adjust, making it possible to get an exact fit every time. The bracelet has split pins, very acceptable at this price point. The hands, being another highlight of this watch, are filled with quality BGW9 lume and are finished to a decent standard, especially the seconds hand. It is not flat like what you see in most watches, but it's actually fully curved, adding to the watch face's already very premium look. Very nice to see at this price point. Before I share my final thoughts of my real-life experience, consider subscribing to the channel and become part of this lovely community. Now to my real-life experience with this watch. As I already mentioned, I do really enjoy wearing this one. It just looks so classy while still being a very casual watch. It simply fits in with most occasions, just a pity that it won't fit under a tight shirt cuff, because it would have been perfect for finer occasions as well. And most of its beauty comes from this watch's face. They really hit home with both the dial and hands. Again, the quality of every small detail on the face is remarkable at this price point. While the crown looks undersized, the grip is decent enough to keep it practical in use. Comfortability has been great too, as the provided bracelet is very smooth in both articulation and smooth to the touch. The pressed clasp doesn't add much bulk to the underside of the wrist, as it adds to the comfort, making it usable even while working at the desk. The thickness of the bracelet adds weight in a good way, because it balances out the weight of the watch itself. I would say that if you appreciate the looks of this watch, which I certainly do myself, and you're looking for an automatic watch with a sapphire crystal and 100 meters of water resistance, and appreciate the dial of this watch, this one might be for you. However, you do have to see past the small crown and its barely visible logo. I will put a link for you on where to find this watch in the description of this video. And if you rather want a thinner watch and don't mind having a quartz movement or mineral crystal, check out my review of its green little brother by clicking here. Both of these watches provides you with decent value, the green one easily being the best $50 watch of 2024. I also recently released a top 10 watches video for watches between $50 and $100 that you can check out by clicking here. Consider liking this video. Peace out.